Good evening. A big day as Prime Minister Sunak goes down to the Coastal Command Centre in Dover, and in the House of Commons, the Home Secretary outlines new legislation, and then the PM has a press conference in Number 10 at 5:30 this evening. The message is clear. The new legislation is going to very clearly say, if you come to this country illegally, with only a very few exceptions, you are going to be detained. Anyone that comes after today, you are going to be detained. They've got ex-army camps and RAF bases where thousands of young men will be kept, and you will then be deported and never allowed to re-enter this country again. They're going to put a cap on the number of refugees that come into the United Kingdom every single year, and as far as the Modern Slavery Act is concerned, that will not apply if you've come to the country illegally. Now, what's my response to that? Well, I was saying this 3 years ago. There I was in April and May of 2020 when a small trickle of boats were coming over the English Channel, and I said it seemed very clear to me that you may as well put a sign on the White Cliffs of Dover saying everybody is welcome because we won't deport any of you. So in a way, I should be welcoming what the government is saying, but I don't, because they even admit, as they put this legislation forward, that they are pushing the limits of international law, by which they mean a variety of conventions that we've been signed up to with the United Nations, but more importantly, the European Convention on Human Rights, backed up by their court in Strasbourg. And this is the most important part that I don't think anyone has talked about across British media today, the fact is that British judges have always interpreted that law in favour, as they see it, of the original ECHR treaty. I don't think any of this is going to work. But I'll tell you what I really think. I really think what the Conservatives are trying to do is to expose Labour. Now, the Labour response to this was, well, where on earth are you going to deport people to if you haven't got any agreements? It was a reasonable point. They also pointed out that the last Labour administration did actually deport tens of thousands of people who were here illegally, something the Tories haven't done. But have a look, have a listen at this short video put out by Conservative Central Office this afternoon.
At least 430 migrants crossed the English Channel to the UK yesterday.
Record number on Saturday, 828, either being rescued.
More than 1,000 migrants have crossed the Channel to the UK in just one day.
The Home Secretary and I have studied every aspect of this issue in detail, and we can now set out 5 new steps today.
Labour will stop this policy. We will campaign to stop it now. We would reverse.
You see, this is all about politics. They know this policy isn't going to work, but Rishi Sunak tells you how impossible the situation is. Doesn't take any responsibility for it, doesn't accept that many of us have been screaming at them over the course of the last 3 years to do something about it, doesn't accept for a moment that, of course, Boris Johnson said if you come here illegally, you won't stay. David Cameron said if you come here illegally, you won't stay. Now, this is all projecting forward. We are on your side. That is what Sunak is saying. Labour will not be able to match this in any way at all, and that's because there's a significant minority within the Labour Party who frankly believe in open borders, believe we are all global citizens. And I'll bet you every penny in Lombard Street to an orange that this is all about the next general election. And the Tories will fight the election saying, we're going to leave the ECHR, or we're going to give you a referendum on the ECHR. And we're all supposed to believe them.